Alright, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this video, I'm going to turn, face east, and give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakat, Kodash. Alright, double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. And sincere salutations to you, hopeful elect Akim, who are pushing this word all across the four corners of the earth. Alright, may Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakat, Kodash. Alright, watch over you brothers, you sincere brothers, man. Alright, so once again, out here, right, prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom, Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, Babylon the Great is America, and America is Babylon the Great. All right, vice versa, verse vice. All right, so once again, man, this place is through, and we know it's through. All right, and it's to the point now where don't nobody got nothing to say. This place is through, and nobody's going to argue that. People trying to get their last little, you know, like it's the last hoorah. It's the final countdown, so to speak. All right, before the Lord comes back. Okay, and annihilates this damn place, and that's biblical. So I'm out here in Salakia. If there's music, it's right here. There's some sort of it's like a bunch of food trucks or something like that. And I'm in front of the library. And what is a library? A library is a place of knowledge, right? The library is a place of learning. And I used to come here a lot when I was younger. When I was younger, you learn a lot, you know. So, but the real knowledge, right? The real knowledge comes from this word. The real knowledge comes from Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Alright, so without further ado, alright, this is the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 15. It says, "For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist." So although people, you know, are adverse to this word, it's really nothing that they can say against it. Us being out here, it's really nothing you can say against that. Right? You either gonna have to disagree, or you gonna have to agree. Either way, it's true. Either way, you know, the word is forevermore, man. So really, it's like kicking your foot against a giant boulder or something like that. You're not getting nowhere. Okay? Alright, and it says, verse 16, "And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death." So just like beforehand, they're about to start getting physical out here. We can see that. We can see the hatred on people's face. So this could be family members. This could be people that you know in the world. It could be your neighbor. It could be your woman, your kids. But it's going to come to the point where they're going to turn on us. See, because the people here, they want to keep their lives, man. They want to keep this. All the while, we trying to get the hell up out of here. We praying that the Lord come. All right, we praying that the Lord get us up out of this current estate. Through Him coming and saving us, through saving the elect of Israel. Everybody else wants to be here, man. And I think to myself literally all the time, who the fuck would want to be here? Who the fuck would want to stay here? All right? It's because these people have that, they got that I want to stay here. What are we in the spirit in? We are in the spirit of getting up out of here, man. Alright? So it says, verse 17, "And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake." So people hate robbers, thieves, killers. But who's the number one on the list? It's the men of the Lord. I guarantee you that. Because we're going to say something it's going to be an offense. Right? But how did our Lord come? Our Lord came as a rock of offense. Lord didn't come, you know, with an agreeable spirit. Now, that don't mean that He was, you know, out here knocking people out or whatever the case is, but He didn't have an agreeable spirit. We coming in the same stead. Okay? So let me go ahead and get that too. Because a lot of times people believe that when the Lord came, he came and, hey, you know, hey, come listen to what I got to say. Hey, for the most part, he was like, nah, this ain't for y'all. See, because he was perfect. He is perfect. So he could perceive that. He could perceive, hey, who was going to receive this and who wasn't going to receive this. We the same way. If we see people walk past, we ain't about to stop them. Now, of course, if the Spirit is on you, you know, stop them and, you know, ask them a question, you might do that. But for the most part, we'll walk right past, man. All right, Romans chapter 9 and verse 33, it says, as it is written, behold, I lay in Sion a stumbling stone and rock of offense, and whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. So we not ashamed. All right, fuck, we gotta be ashamed for it, man. These people should be ashamed. Look at how they're living their life, man. All right, you these fucking women out here. These women out here busted, broke. You know what I mean? This is what we gotta fucking deal with out here. We gotta deal with busted, ballooned up ass women with an attitude. You think our Lord was hearing that, man? You think that our Lord, you know what I mean, was tolerating that? You know, hearing what a bitch gotta say? No, man. You think Paul was tolerating that? You know, hearing what these women gotta say? Hell no. All right, and these were men. Now that you're seeing men, you know, now that you're seeing men like that in 2022, all of a sudden it's a problem. Now, if we was out here with a bucket, right, reading with a bucket, asking for donations, reading tarot cards, it'd be people lined up down the fucking street. If we were making a music video, people would be in support of that, but they're not in support of the men of the Lord, and that's why it speaks about that. Right? It speaks about that in the scriptures, about the Lord being a stumbling stone and a rock of offense. So if we're coming in his stead, right, while he's away, we're coming in his stead, we're speaking on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, right? The Spirit has us speaking about the miracles of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Then of course, we're going to be a stumbling stone also. We're going to be a rock of offense also. You got people like, what's going on? They can't understand what's taking place right now. Right? And you know, I live in an area that's got a little bit of money. You know, as you can see, you got nice cars. You don't really see too many beaters. You don't see too many beaters on this side of town, man. So these people are proud. Yet when you look into these people's lives on a personal level, they're depressed. They got anxiety. They got loans. Right? These are people that only have a certain amount of time left. So it's our job to prophesy against these damn people. Keep prophesying against them. Just as our Lord did. Our Lord did the same thing. All right, y'all gonna be destroyed. Lord's gonna take you out. You know. Hey, and I know through the Spirit that the Lord said that. You know. Hey, upon me coming back, right? Well, what does it say in the scripture? That he shall not beat thee as a man. Let me get that too. Because everybody thinks that the Lord is going to come back. He just coming back, you know, in Adidas. In a Kango. No, the Lord is coming back in his full force. You know what I mean? In a way in which people can't understand that. You're not going to understand perfect power. All right? Coming from the realm where the Heavenly Father is and coming here. Right? Yeah, you'll watch music videos with all sorts of, crazy stuff going on. You'll watch movies. Yet the Lord coming back is super far-fetched. All right? All right, so all right, so this is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 3. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, Yea, thy shame shall be seen. So that's part of us being out here. Alright, hey, and we getting shamed. Are we not getting called out on what we're doing? So of course we're gonna call the people out on what they're doing. You caught. You exposed. Your ass out in the open now. You know? People seeing us on the highways and byways, passing by us. See, there's all types of people on the opposite side of me. Right? On the opposite side of this highway. You know what I mean? So they seeing this. Okay? And what is it? A rock of offense. Isaiah 47:3, once again, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So the Lord ain't going to be coming over here, you know, with sweat dripping from his face. He's going to come back perfect. He's going to come back perfect. And Lord's will, him coming back for us, man, he's going to bring that perfection with him. All right, speaking on the last video I did, he's going to come with healing in his wings. So that's healing, man. That's us escaping this captivity. Getting the hell away from these people, because these people, they want to be here forever. That's their desire. They want nothing more than to be here, what, to you 80, 90 years old, man. Riding around, doing whatever you do. Okay? Which that's not the time that we in, man. Alright, I'm gonna start from the top of Isaiah chapter 47. So this is Isaiah chapter 47 and 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. So you start off with you damn elite. Nobody's gonna regard you as anything important. Now your ass gonna be on the outside looking in. That's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to you being in a lower state, right? Basically, it's going to be like we're switching places, but how you're going to be in the kingdom, man, you're going to be a fucking laughing stock. You're already a laughing stock right now, but now it's going to increase, man. We just waiting it out. We waiting it out. All right, Lord's coming back. Right, you got to prophesy. Right, you got to have faith. You know, you got to pray. You got to keep brothers in the loop, keep brothers up, you know, spiritually hydrated. That's what we waiting for. We waiting for when these things come to pass. We're gonna be speaking on that. All right, we're gonna ask you what happened. What happened to democracy? What happened to what is that? Self-empowerment. What happened to your will? We're gonna be talking a lot. We're gonna be talking a lot of mess in that day, man. All the way up until the Lord's return. All right, it says, verse 2, take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the women. So your ass being exposed. All right, you damn devil, every day it's another news article coming out against your red ass. So now it's to the point, this is mainstream knowledge. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows what's going on in a general sense. They speaking on the C-19. They're speaking on the you know, certain individuals going missing. And who's doing that? So your ass is through. You're toast. But with you being exposed for the damn devil that you are, that's going to come with even more consequences. As we revealing more and more about you, the Lord is doing more and more. More, you know, you on trial. You on trial, you damn devils, heathens, and 2/3 of Israel. Your ass is on trial, but more specifically we're speaking about Eden. His ass is on trial. So with him being on trial, right, we present evidence. All right, this is exhibit A. This is exhibit B. Exhibit C, look, this is what he did. All right, this is what he's doing. So now this is being made apparent. It's to the point where you cannot gainsay nor resist this word. You really have to accept it for what it is. All right, which is the truth. This is what we teaching, the truth. All right, it says, verse 4. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, right? Our anointed Savior. That's what his name means, right? Yahweh Shai. Right? He is salvation. He is the deliverer. All right, it says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. So you can see that as time is going on, less and less is being said. Things are being things are being less and less transparent. See, beforehand, whether it was 5, 10 years ago, you were seeing things on the mainstream news. Now, and we got cat videos. That's what they're pushing forward now. Where is all the information based on the C-19 or the monkey circles? Where's the information on that? It's becoming less and less. Why? Because they're hiding that from you. They're hiding that from the people. Right? Because through the Spirit, we in the loop. We in the loop on what's happening. We in the loop about the C-19, about the monkey circus. The Lord is revealing more things unto us. And he's putting the people in an even more deeper darkness. See, he's shining more of the light on us, right? Lord's will, and he's putting everybody else in a darker hole. They don't even know what's going on right now, man. All right, and what's their desire? Their desire is to see, but the Lord isn't giving them that, right? You get your prize, man, which is you being in the world until ultimately you destroy it. Right? With a little bit of time left. Alright, y'all don't got all the time you think you do. Alright, that's why you damn elite. Hey, do what you need to do. Right now. Shit, you up out of here. Coming soon, you can feel it. Alright, we can feel it. We can feel it in our spirit, man. Alright, so it says, verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. All right, so this place is not going to be the apple of everybody's eye. Hey, and all y'all mad about this whole Roe v. Wade thing, just wait till the Lord comes back. Ain't gonna be no abortions in the kingdom. That ain't happening. Hey, kiss that goodbye. Okay? And hey, in the children of Israel, there's not going to be one miscarriage in the kingdom of heaven if you're an Israelite. The Israelite isn't going to have the ability to have a miscarriage, right? To have ovarian cysts and all this other stuff, impotency. The scriptures speak about what? About us being fruitful and multiplying. Okay? It says, verse 6, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient, as thou heavily laid thy yoke. Woo. So you heavily laid your yoke onto the ancient. Right? We've been royalty. And now look what you have done, man. You done put chains on the elect. You done put chains on the elect of Israel. Now we don't know who that is exactly. But basically, the brothers that are out there on the highways and byways, I mean, that's some of the elect. They may not all be of the elect, but that, hey, brothers out there on the highways and byways teaching. You got different women that believe in this word. You know, their children believe in this word. They're part of that 1/3. You know, there's some of the ones that see that they have a yoke on them. If you can't see that you have a yoke on you, then the Lord ain't working with you. We going through all types of stuff, man. And it's every day. The yoke get tighter and tighter to the point where if it get tightened anymore, hey, we gonna pass out. Because the Lord's will we don't pass out, man. Because the Lord will tighten that yoke on certain individuals, and they'll just pass out. They'll just pass out, you know, to the point where they want to get out of that servitude so much, they're willing to do anything, man. Like your favorite rapper, you know, different people in the entertainment world. These people are willing to do whatever, okay, in order to get up out that yoke. Which, ironically, you in an even heavier yoke than just a guy working a 9 to 5. You know, and that's a whole different tax bracket. You got a whole different set of problems. You paying agents, and you paying people to do all your financials. You know, paying off different mistresses and all that. That's a lot of work. Yeah, that's what Jake want to do. Jake want more hell. Jake want to be here, and he wants to be put in a higher position, but also catch more hell. That's why you see these different rappers always say, "Well, this is what I had to do for this. I had to sacrifice for this." They dead serious. They had to sacrifice for this, just like us. You know, we have to sacrifice for this, but we sacrifice it on the right hand side. Lord's will. All right, it says, verse 7, "And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it yet." So you, in your eyes, oh, well, this place gonna last forever. You out your damn mind. How long do you think this place got? Right? Because this is a pretty new place. Right? 1776 to what? 2022. That's less than 300 years, man. That's not a very long amount of time. Okay? So we in that time. We at the expiration date. When you open up your refrigerator and you see it's a gallon of milk that has, you know, passed its expiration date, it's time to throw it away. That's this place. This kingdom has expired. All right, what's going to come in place of this current kingdom? It's going to come the kingdom of heaven. That's what we want. We don't want to be. We don't want to be here. That's like you drinking expired milk every damn day. All right. Going back to the milk. You want to drink spoiled milk every day? That's how we feel living in this damn kingdom, man. You know. Gotta get the hell up out of here. Okay. You drive around, you see all types of shit. All right. You see judgment. You see pain, anguish, despair. You're like, we got to get up out of here. That's what's constantly being spoken. We got to get up out of here, and we need the Lord to come back. And we don't have much time left. You know, and we got to get right. Okay. So it reads, verse 8. "Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly." Are these people not living in pleasures? And are they not doing things carelessly? These people have no care in the world. So guess what that's going to lead to? That's going to lead to you being in more and more darkness. That's going to lead to you basically just being a heathen. Just being stuck here. All right? People even say, "Yeah, I'm a heathen," you know. Oh man, it's all out hell. All right. Let me read this again. "Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children." You proud niggas. Talking about, oh, this place ain't never gonna fall. Here it is, this place falling. We looking at it fall, yet you speaking on numbers. How many people have invaded us? How many people have we lost against? How many countries do we have a base in? That's all fine and dandy. But you're not gonna be facing man. You're gonna be facing the Most High's creation. All right, Yahweh Shai, you're not gonna get past that. We're talking about the entity that the Heavenly Father created, the first spirit that the Lord created. That's who you're gonna be facing, man. You're not ready for that. You're not ready for that, man. All right, and let's not forget the angels. Let us not forget about the angels also. Okay, the angels coming too, and the angels got all authority, man. All right, it says, verse 9, it says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. We ready to see that. We ready to see widowhood. We ready to see the loss of children. You experiencing that now. A lot of you already lost your children. You lost your children to this world. You know, your son, oh man, your son wearing dresses. Your daughter got her ass hanging out. She wearing boxers with a pair of Nike SB Dunks on. That's what we got to deal with around here, man. Especially where I'm at. I'm gonna continue to say that. Where I'm at, man, it's like it's all the worst. It's all the worst people. Just weirdos, man. Complete weirdos. Complete idiocracy. And this is what they force us to get used to. They want us stuck up in here, man. They want us subject to this every day. And they want us to like it too. They want us to get used to it. All right, get used to this. All right, you should love this. You should want this. All right, yeah, what we gonna do? We're not gonna get used to this. This ain't some shit we can get used to. Seeing this take place every damn day, we can't get used to that. All right, anyways, it says here, it says in widowhood, and they shall come upon thee in their perfection to the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. So it's a great abundance of enchantments. This shit wild. Look at this place. It's all types of enchantments, all types of shit going on out here. Weird. Nothing but weirdo activity. You know? This is what we got to look forward to. We got to look forward. Saucy Santana, right? Which that's a Jake rapper, but he wants to be a woman. He's like a wannabe Nicki Minaj, man. He got makeup with a full beard on. This is what they want from us, man. We don't want that. We want to get the hell up out of here, man. Right? Party buses. This is what they want from us, screaming out of the window. Top of your lungs. You know, loud ass car. This is what they want from us, man. Okay, it says, verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. So you consider yourself God just because you got a little bit of knowledge. That's just like Eve and 2/3 of Israel. All right, this nigga got an LLC. All of a sudden he think he the Most High. You know, look at me. Look at all the great things I'm able to do. That's Jake. That's how Jake thinks in his head now. And he did all this, not knowing that it's, in all honesty, it's the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. The Heavenly Father and His Son, it's like Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. That's even allowing you to be where you at. You're not in your position just willy-nilly, like you did that. No, the Lord put you in that position, okay, to take it away, man. That's ultimately why he did it, to take that away. I just gonna take it away, famine, sword, your ass getting thrust through, you getting bombarded, you getting hit with all types of missiles, you know, all types of missiles. Those are going to be factors, man. Warfare is going to be a factor. Famine is going to be a factor. People starving to death. Once again, like I said, missiles. And we're not even talking about the nukes. We're talking about just regular old missiles. It's going to be warfare out here, and it's going to get gritty. See, because this damn devil, he going to show you who the real gangster is. And you always say, yeah, you know, I'm a G, I'm this, I'm that. Okay. We gonna see how much of a G you is when this damn devil come, man. And he gonna come to knocking, man. And he gonna come knocking and clocking MF's head off, man. All right, we talking about a big ass Kalashnikov with a 24-inch bayonet on it. He not playing. Why? Because the Lord is going to put the Spirit on him to be ruthless. You think he is ruthless now, and he about to turn it up. He about to really get busy, man. All right, it says, verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. Yeah, so there you go. Plain and simple. You're going to be catching major hell. All right, the Spirit's going to be put on them soldiers to come thrust through with the sword out of nowhere. The people are going to try to reason with these devils. It's not going to work. Their eyeballs are going to be glazed over, man. They're going to look robotic with it. You know? It says, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. So you're not going to say, oh, well, we'll worry about this next week. You're going to have to face it. You know? You're not going to be able to go, well, we'll just push this off. We'll try to come in agreement. You know? Because, hey, man, the Spirit is going to be put. Demons on it. But the Spirit is going to be put on these people from the north to come here and have, along with all these other nations. It says in the scripture, will burn her utterly with fire. That's not just one group of people. That's everybody. Everybody gonna want to get something, man. Like when you got somebody getting jumped, you start having random ass people coming and jumping you, man. That's how this place is gonna be. There's gonna be places that we forgot about. It's gonna be different places, different countries that we forgot about. That's gonna be, wrecking havoc up in here. Alright, it says, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know where it's coming from. It's an aspirin. Just out of nowhere. You get hit from this side, you get hit from that side. Everywhere you get flanked. People coming from the Pacific, the Atlantic, Gulf of Mexico. Shit, all out hell. And that's why starting off with the elder apostles of Great Millstone. You damn devils, have your fun, do what you want to do, because your ass is up out of here. Okay? You through, you done. Alright, it says, verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries. Yeah, so chin up, chest out. You thought you was gonna be able to just what? Just use magic, and all these other, sorts of things. Check, oh man, beautiful. Barakatah how about Shai? It's absolutely beautiful. Barakatah how about Shai? It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. We're seeing the Lord at work every day, man. Every day. And then them sorceries and them enchantments, they wear it off. Alright? They wear it all the way off. This is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, man. Hey, man, that's great. That's absolutely great. All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, making out, you got a guy walking, you got a fucking wheelchair, you got another guy here in a boot. They both looking like they on something. Yes. One day closer, another day down to your red ass being in the dirt. And then guess what? Guess what? All right, when you in the kingdom, that's what we gonna do. We're gonna put your ass to work. We're gonna put your ass to work. You just, you die now. You just, you in the spirit realm, ready. Ready slave. You just ready. Because once the Lord comes back, that's when it's gonna time. It's gonna be time, man. And with the perfection of the saints, with the perfection of the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that's when your ass is gonna be put to work, man. We can't put you to work until then. Until the Lord commissions the elect as the governing body of the kingdom of heaven. Well, once everybody gets their position, every brother gets their crown, gets their assignment, that's when the work is going to begin for your red ass, man. So just take comfort in that. Take comfort that you get your small little amount of time, but don't get too comfortable. All right, and realize that hey, man, you got a very short amount of time left. Really, you have no time at all. You're on the way out. We can't wait for your red ass to get up out of there, man. Okay? It says, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt let me read this again. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. So that's really the Lord being facetious. Like, what you gonna do now? What leg you got to stand on? You done. You through. You out of here, bro. That's basically what the Lord is saying. Well, go ahead. Well, grab yourself by the bootstraps, pull yourself up, get right. Yet you're not able to do that. Why? Because, hey, man, the Lord has basically made you through. All right? And that's speaking about you heathens and you 2/3 of Israel also. Because what if your enchantments got you? STDs, right? Dirty ass teeth. You smoking all types of stuff. Yeah, your teeth broke. You a mole. What is that, man? That's the American dream, is it not? You doing whatever you want to do. Alright? Like, you doing whatever you want to do, that's going to lead to certain consequences. Anybody with half a brain knows that. Alright, it says, let me go back to that. Wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. So from your youth, from our youth, we was from birth, we was going off. We was going off. Here it is, our mothers eating pepperoni pizza, and we drinking the milk. We through. Especially Jake. Jake get done smoking a cigarette, then breastfeed. That's our women. That's the children of Israel. You might breastfeed while smoking a cigarette, getting ashes on the baby's head. You know, you drinking some E&J. All out hell, man. All out hell. All right, it says, verse 13, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologer, yeah, so you got all these different things that you go to. All right, you going to all these different sources. All right, you going to the horoscopes, you going to your favorite celebrity, you doing all these different things. You're not looking at the Lord though. See, everybody's doing all this stuff, but they're not looking at the Lord. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be looking at what the Lord has going on. And the people, they not regarding. They don't give a damn. They could care less. Alright, it says, let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and say these things that shall come upon thee. Yeah, so basically everybody outside the Lord that you've been trusting on, you're going to have to trust on that. You're going to have to stand on that. That's not a leg to stand on. Right? These different news agencies. Right? Everything's okay. And technically you're not going off if you're watching the news. You know, it's not going off, but if you're basing everything off of that, you believe in everything that they're saying, you falling up under them sorceries, which is not the thing to do. That's not the thing to do, man. Yet the people, that's what they want to do. They want to follow everything else but the Lord. And the Lord has everything. He has everything set up. All right, what else more would you have to go to? All right, it says, oh, and this is the result of that. Verse 14, behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. So it don't matter if you bench press 350. It don't matter. You're not getting out of the clutches of the Lord. It's not happening. We understand that. All right. So we know at any time, the Lord can pull. He can deal with you. So you want to get on His good side, man. You want to get on His good graces. Okay. It says, there shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee. So you're going to have certain people say, well, I'm going to go to my grandpa's. He got guns. You're going to have certain people say, well, I'm going back to India. I'm going here. I'm going there. And just watch. All you're going to need is internet get cut off. That's one scenario. The economy crash, that's another scenario. Or simultaneously, you can have the internet shut off and the economy crash. What you gonna do? You're just gonna be people running all over the place. You got no cell phone service. This is when things are gonna start to get a little tricky. And the Lord spoke about that. The Lord spoke about the comforts of this place and how when they get taken away, right? How the people react. The people are gonna react in a way like never seen before. You know, you're going to have the calmest guy you ever seen freaking out. You know, Jeff Poole, you know, your coworker, he's going to be freaking out in that day. So that's the false confidence. That's the false confidence of being here, right? You know, you got your credit card, car working, you done paid your rent. I mean, so you start to feel yourself, man. It's like being a teenager or something. You're feeling yourself. But really, you got nothing to show. Like debt, you know, you in debt. You know, you owe Sally and Freddie some money. Credit score bad. It's just all around through. Yeah, it's perceived that you're at the top. That's part of you exalting yourself. That's why if you ask most of the people, well, what you rate yourself 1 out of 10, they're gonna always say a 10. They're not gonna speak on the two DUIs. You got your custody of your kids. Nobody's gonna speak on that. Nobody's gonna be real with themselves. That's why the Lord has set up men, starting off with the elder apostles of Brimstone, and set up men to what? Speak the truth. What we gotta be worried about? We doing our job. Okay, so just continue to do your job, and everything's gonna work out, man. All Right? That's why it doesn't speak on us wandering. Just wandering. You just you walking around. Not just walking around. It's okay to go on the walk. Go on a stroll somewhere. Wandering. You just going. You don't really know where you're going. You ask a lot of people, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? 15 years? And nobody has an answer. Alright, for most men, they say they want to join the military. Most women say, oh, well, I want to become a nurse. Right? Yeah, basic shit. There's enough of those, man. Where are the hopeful elect Israelites? You don't have nobody saying that. Well, I'm gonna strive after the Lord to the best of my ability. You're not gonna have that. That's why the people that are gonna be saved is very few. There's gonna be a minuscule amount of people, and that's beautiful. In fact, that's what we want. We don't want all these people saved, man. Where else it wouldn't be as precious, man. Us going through what we're going through, it wouldn't be as much of an honor if you had, 400 people out here. Now, if the Lord has 400, hopeful elect men of Israel on the highways and byways teaching, right? But you never know. We may have that happen one day. 400 brothers gather in one place, teach the word. We gotta wait for that, man. There's certain things that we have to wait for too. These people, they're not waiting for nothing. They just here. They just wondering. They're not worried about what's happening next. They got money in their pocket, and Jake, man, especially in the middle of the war, we are in a lower state. Even if you got a little bit of money, it's not gonna last long. It's like you got a hole in your pocket. You know what I mean? You make $2,000, you get a tax return, all of a sudden your AC break. That's the Lord. Alright? That's just how it's set up, man. The Lord set that up. That's absolutely beautiful. The Lord set that up in perfection. Because you think this happened to us too. You get a certain amount of money, you're like, alright, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then what does the Lord do? He takes that away from you. Right? Because it's not your plan, it's His plans. I think that the general amount of people, they don't understand that. Because the Lord has it so that they don't understand. Okay? Let me read that again. Isaiah 47:15. It says, thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall save thee. Yeah, so they gone. These elite, they in the deep bunkers. They're not worried about you. Okay? Hey, they're waiting for this too. But what? They're waiting in dread. They're waiting like, oh man, no, I don't want, they're in the bunkers, man. We don't want the Lord to come back. That's how they come. What are we doing? We in the spiritual bunker, man. We in the spirit. We're like, yeah, let's go. Let's have this place, explode, man. That's a beautiful sight to see, right? Us being in the chariot, looking down, seeing this place just engulfed. That's beautiful. All right, and whatever repercussions come from that, we'll take, because eventually they're gonna, once things start to happen here, they're gonna want to physically apprehend us. All right, y'all talking about too much. Y'all doing too much. All right, now we got to deal with you. You know what I mean? Now you have to be brought. You have to be brought before a council, brought before your honor. But fuck it, let's do it then. Let's do it then. We ready for that. Whatever the Lord has happened, it's gonna happen. Right? We're not supposed to really think about what we're gonna say in that time. We just pray that it is His good spirit power of Yahweh Shai, man. It actually speaks on that in this part of Luke. This is Luke chapter 21 and verse 11. And great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. Alright? So physically apprehended. We're not talking about you getting a letter in the mail, or we would like you to, when you got the time, maybe you could do a Zoom meeting, a Zoom deposition. No, man, they're about to get physical. They're going to physically present themselves, man. It says, verse 13, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. So by us going through that, we're gonna testify. Verse 14, settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before ye shall answer. It's like it. Before what ye shall answer. So we're not going to be sitting here thinking, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. No, it's whatever the Spirit has happened, man. That's what we're going to go with. Whatever the Spirit has happened. That's exactly what we're going to go with. We don't know what we're going to say, but what we do know is this word is going to come out. Right? We may or may not have a Bible. Who knows? But the Lord, of course, the Lord can put these words into your mind and you recite them perfectly. It happens all the time. You'll be at camp, and a brother will say a verse, and you just finish it for him. You didn't even really think you knew, right? You just finish it through the Spirit. That's how it's going to be. Like a spiritual autocorrect, You think the verse goes one way and the Most High is going. Have it happen. The Lord's will, Yahweh Shemel Shai, speaks through us. The Lord's will is just us dealing with what we deal with, us being in the flesh. Makes us subject to sin, so the people aren't going to believe that. That's why it speaks about the foolishness of preaching. It seems foolish because what? Because it's coming from men. Let me get that. It says 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 21. It says, for after that, in the wisdom of Yahweh Shemel Shai, the world by wisdom knew not Yahweh. It pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. So it's simply the fact, right? We working 9 to 5, Certain brothers that broke bones, or we're mortal. So from the eyes of the people, they don't want to hear what we got to say. Yet, Lord's will, the Lord is speaking through us, man. We truly do believe that. Starting off with the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Okay? And you're taught that. You're taught how to speak. You're taught, what to say. And if the Spirit is working with you, the Spirit is going to pour out. Right? Living water. That's how we're able to be out here for hours on end. The word being poured out, man. Like a pitcher that doesn't run out of water. This is spiritually all you can drink. Living water, man. It just keeps coming. It's like a natural geyser, man. Alright, so meeting at the point that I made earlier. Luke chapter 21 and verse 15. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. So you're not going to be able to resist this word, man. You're not going to be able to gainsay. Basically, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck like Chuck. You're going to have to hear this word, man. All right, when the Lord, locks up some of us, when the Lord does certain things to us, He's going to make us be around certain individuals, right? To activate them, right? At first, man, this guy keeps praying in his cell. And after a while, he's going to start listening. Hey, a lot of what he's saying is making sense. Which through the Spirit, a lot of brothers, they just going to kind of put away by themselves. But you're going to have certain brothers who are going to be, in gym pop, so to speak. Because, hey, not only us, right, but a lot of dissidents, a lot of people who are insubordinate to what's about to be happening, they're going to get locked up too. So it ain't just going to be the men of the Lord, only the men of the Lord are getting locked up. No, it's going to be other individuals too that are inadvertently against this beast system. Because you may not even know the truth, but be against the MOTB. All right? You may not know the name of the Lord. You may not know that there's brothers out here on the highways and byways. Yet, when the MOTB is presented, you're going to be like, no, I'm not taking that. So what's going to happen? Are you going to be beheaded? What's going to happen? You're going to be put in these different CCs, man. We ain't talking about no Boy Scout camps, man. We're talking about camps that are, they're concentrated. That's what we're gonna have to see. We're going to witness that too, and we're gonna have to witness judgment coming upon these people that are going through that. Because the Lord is gonna have some of us to be okay, right? This is the foolishness of preaching. It's through the foolishness of preaching, right, that we're able to obtain the glory of Yahweh Shai. It's glorious. Us being out on the highways, it's glorious. It's a glorious thing that's taking place. Yet what do the people consider this? A nuisance. Right? They fan their hands. They scoff. Okay? They sucking their teeth. And we're the ultimate buzzkill, right? And y'all always come in and talk about destruction and what about the good times? What about the people coming together? Ain't none of that. That's out of here. That's over with. What's the Lord doing, man? The Lord is dividing people. Okay, you have the elect of Israel, and you got everybody else. Okay? It's like when you used to play kickball. Right? You got the team that's playing, and everybody else on the sideline. You're not getting in. No substitutes, man. We here. We in the game. Alright, Lord's will, the Lord keeps us in the game. You know what I mean? And each brother has a different lot. Each brother has a different portion. And hey, you can pray to increase that. You know, pray to the Lord that the Lord, deals with you heavier. That the Lord reveals, more unto you. That's gonna come with what? That's gonna come with more sorrow, right? Because we're acquainted with grief every day, catching hell. Every day. It's not a day that goes by where you're not catching hell. And that's set up as a reminder. That's set up as a reminder, hey, it ain't all sweet. Get ready for the Lord's return. If we were going on easy mode, if everything was good, there wouldn't be no need for the Lord to come back. That's the importance of us going through what we're going through. Is that the Lord is coming back. That's the importance of what we're going through. The Lord is coming to save us from this hell that we catch. Catch a heavy hell. You need us to catch a hell too. You know? You got this chick I work with, you know, she's part of the alphabet crew. You know, she's E. You know, ugly too. Ugly as hell. Ugly as hell. You know, and her car, man, something happened with her car just completely just broke apart. Now, you know, in the morning she riding a scooter, man. She got her scooter locked up. She got her scooter locked up in the break room. That's hell. That's hell. You went from riding in a, you know, and she had one of the big ass Jeeps. You know, you went from riding in a $80,000 car to now what? Now you pushing a scooter. You pushing $100 scooter down the road, man. That's judgment of the Lord, man. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh, That's absolutely beautiful. Hey, when I saw that, I wish more hell on me. Like, hell yeah. You know, hey, the more hell that these people are catching, you wishing for more hell. It's like, hey, people are wishing more hell on us. Yeah, you know, they praying to Jesus. Jesus knock him down a peg. You know, you praying to Satan. All right, so you praying for our downfall. Yeah, in reality, that's just gonna help us out, man. Because the prophecies are speaking. Prophecies is coming to life. Somebody got to get hated on. Somebody got to get looked at in a certain light. That's us. All right, we're the ones who are subject to this. We're the ones that are subject to persecution. Being persecuted. It's about us. No, ain't nobody in the AC church getting persecuted for this word's sake. It comes with certain things, man. That's why you don't just have people doing this. It's not so you just wake up and just do it. Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, how are you? You was out walking around?
No, there's a church down here on the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Down there checking it out?
Yeah, but he was saying some stuff. I was like, that's not what the Bible says.
Did you plan on going down there?
Yeah, because they had church this morning, and so they said they have it at 7 o'clock at night too.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
so
you was like, can we go down there?
Yeah.
So you consider yourself like a Christian?
I consider myself part of Israel.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And that's the thing. I don't know if it's like, I've been asking the Father, okay, is this whole thing a deception? Because it has the likeness of God. And I wouldn't say that they necessarily deny the power of God, but everything, it seems to be so general where people don't really understand what they're supposed to be doing. Oh, I'm just supposed to love people, okay, but, you know, there has to be a heart change and a spirit change to be able to love people. And the way that he does that is through washing us with the word. But you can't just be washed with the word. You need to read his word, and you need to be praying, and you need to be fasting, and that kind of thing.
You got to be going through something.
Yeah, but, you know, there's a lot of homeless people that go, and I don't know, I feel like they need more in order to do the will of the Most High.
Down there is like I don't know, it's like a water bottle with a hole in it.
Yeah.
And you know they're coming from a good place in their heart, but they don't really understand what they're pushing. So I got a question for you. So when you say that you're a child of Israel, like who did you hear that from first? Who kind of
Well, I think
put you?
I was reading the Bible honestly, and it talks about how, I think it's Ephesians 2:12-13. It talks about how you were far from the commonwealth of Israel, now you have drawn near. And then it also talks about how there's 12 gates to enter the kingdom. And, you know, I said, okay, well, there's not really a Gentile gate, and it's saying here we're grafted in, and it's saying there's no longer Jew nor Greek, and so it seems like all of them will be 47 talks about how anyone who joins Israel gets a portion of the land and they become part of the tribe. And you got Ezekiel 37 that talks about how Israel and Judah and all their companions he'll bring the two sticks together and they'll become one. So really, we're our own nation. Yeah, we're from Africa, we're from Europe, or we're from Asia, or wherever the deal is, but we're all Israel. And I actually had a friend, her kids were taken by the government of North Carolina, and she had sat down with God and was like, what do I do? And he gave her word for word what to say to the government of North Carolina. And one of the parts she put in there was, I'm a citizen of Israel. She got her kids back from the government of North Carolina. They couldn't do anything because she was no longer under the jurisdiction of America, the corporation, but under the jurisdiction of Israel, the children and commonwealth of God.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people say, well, we all come from Israel, but it's made apparent, in this word that it's a difference between people. Now, what you're saying is partially true. Out of everybody on the earth, the biggest nation on earth is the children of Israel. But there's also 17 other nations that are written in the scriptures, like Moab, Ishmael, Ammon, so on and so forth. Now you have people who are the children of Israel that may look like that guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, you know what I mean? Or they may look so-called Chinese, or they may look so-called Japanese, whatever, but who our Lord look like, and who the children of the Lord look like, at one point were dark skin. Right? Now it's changed. Now on a majority scale, they still are dark skin. But you have people that are fair skin. Like me and my youngest brother, we have two different dads. His father is Native American, but when you look at him, he looks like he might be like Filipino or something like that. But he's Israelite. So let's say he has children with a so-called white woman. Since you come from your father, right? Whoever your father is, that's who you are, right? That's why you take their last name, take on their likenesses or whatever. That child's gonna come out looking as white as that poster. That's Israelite. So you have those people down there saying, well, we don't see color, we don't see this, we don't see that. Yet the world shows you the opposite. You know what I mean? We're here, right? We're stuck here, but the Lord is revealing who is the children of Israel, who isn't. So unfortunately, I don't have my sign. I think somebody took it or something like that. But I had a sign that explained 12 tribes of Israel. So when you look at a Negro, a Haitian, Central American, Mexican, a Native American, a Guatemalan, different people in France, Germany, Spain. Those are the children of Israel, spread all across the four corners of the earth. But at one point, they were in Israel. Like the story that it tells about them coming. And the reason why that happened is because us basically being in captivity. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read you this real quick. And this is just like this is a basic one that you probably might have heard in church, or probably not. They usually don't talk about this in church. But this is Deuteronomy 28 and 68. It says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." So us, when we got put on the Santa Maria, what was that other ship called? The Good Ship, Jesus, all these other ships, we were bought and insured. That's where life insurance comes from, right? Insurance for boats, insurance for, basically everything came from slaves first. We were like the first stock, right? That's why we have live cattle or whatever they call it, livestock or whatever. You go to Mobile, certain places in Florida, like down here, there were slaves that were being sold. There were slaves probably sold right here. Right there is a pile of Native American bones. That's usually where I'm at, but I go like everywhere. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, is that there is no one place to go to church. know what I mean? It says in the scriptures that the Lord doesn't deal with the place made with hands. You know, so the church really is men. It's Israelite men. Now me, I'm here by myself sometimes. You know, I know different men in different areas. I may go and teach with them, go teach by myself. You know what I mean? And of course, this is going on the internet, so hundreds of people can see it, thousands of people can see it, hundreds of thousands of people. It just kind of depends.
It's loud enough right here, but the traffic.
Yeah, it's loud enough. I just changed the settings. Let me get that real quick, because I can't just say what I say without proving it first, you know. Because I can't just say, oh, I think this or I think that, you know. All right. It says here, 2 Corinthians 5:1. For if we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle with dissolved, we have a building of Yahweh, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. So, you think about people that were here first, that were here on the earth first. You had people, and then you had Adam and Eve, right? And, you know, everybody knows the story. Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel, you know, and now we flash forward to 2022, and you got billions of people here. So, everybody is saying, and we're all the same, when it's apparent that as time goes on, different people are going in different places. You know what I mean? Everything's separated.
Non-dualism.
Yeah.
It's a part of Luciferian system. We're all one. But I don't know the scripture exactly, but he says, I've done this, so you know I put a difference between the Egyptian and the Israelite.
Yeah.
You know, and if there's a difference between the Egyptian and the Israelite, then there's a difference between the Canaanite and the Israelite. And I don't know all the other nations, but there's quite a few of them. But you know that you're the nation of Israel when you're trying to follow the Most High.
Yeah.
Not everyone out here is trying to follow the Most High.
Yeah, no.
So
of course.
if you're even an Israelite and you get scattered into those other nations, then you take on their, their customs, and you start to look like them. I think that's part of the reason why they said Paul looked like an Egyptian, because he was looking like he was taking on their customs, but he really had the heart of the Most High type deal. So, no, there's definitely a difference, and people have to be grafted into Israel. They can't just say, oh, we're all children of God. No, you have to earn that title to be a child of God. There's stuff that, and they don't want it, and they just want to assume, oh, I'm here, you know, and he gives us all purpose, but what people go through concerning being a child of God and you do nothing, to me, that's baffling. Like, why do you think you deserve to be called a child of God when you do absolutely nothing for God? That's the feeling for me. Yeah, no,
It's just called being idle.
Yeah.
That's what most of the people here are. Like they want, and of course, there's nothing wrong with going in here or doing something like that. But this is what the people only see that. They don't see what's currently taking place, and that's because the spirit ain't working with them.
Yeah.
Before I was taught, I had to be taught what I know. You know what I mean, I'm in my late 20s, but I first found out about this when I was like in my early 20s. So some of us are 14 and they're 32 years old and they're teaching the word, or some of us are 28 and they're 42 and they're teaching the word. So it varies with the person, you know what I mean? But the spirit is working with you, and it's working with you, you know what I mean? Which this is what I can see. I can't say, oh, the Lord's going to be working on me forever. The Lord can take the spirit off of me and put it on him.
Yeah.
Just from him seeing me out here, I get lukewarm, I fall out, and then the Lord activate him. So it's a scary thing to be in the hands of the Most High, and that's why people assume that they can save them. But you're not saved till the Lord comes.
Well, that's why he said, John 15, you got to remain in me so I can remain in you.
Exactly. yet if you are the elect of Israel, then there's nothing you can do to change that. Even if you say, oh no, I don't follow that God stuff. If it's revealed that you are an Israelite and the Lord has chosen you, and that's it. Because you have examples like Jeremiah, Job, Jonah. He refused. He said, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And the Lord pulls him back in. Like, that's just what happens. You know what I mean? So just to prove that point of the Lord looking like your eye. So I'm pretty sure you're in tune with the Book of Revelation, right?
Yeah, I know about the Book of Revelation. I don't necessarily think how people describe it. Oh, Solomon said I'm black and I'm lovely. I think Solomon was saying I'm black, spiritually dark, and I'm lovely because I tried to take care of my people, but I haven't taken care of my own house. But if you look at the earliest painting of the Messiah, it's like, I want to say it's either 200 AD or 300 AD. He was dark-skinned and he had black hair. If you look at the earliest painting of the Hebrews, they were dark-skinned and they had dark hair. And so yeah, no, they were definitely people of color, African. Actually, I was just walking past here. The Lord reminded me of it. There is a geographer by the name of Sir Francis Richard Burton. He was from France and he traveled in Africa. I saw 115 on this building down here, and I said, Lord, what's that for? And he actually put in his book, it's called A Road to Dahomey, the 115 tribes of Judah that were in West Africa. He said, these people are different than the native tribes of Africa because they wear silk and they wear linen. You know, the African tribes are wearing other garments. And if you start to look up the tribes of Africa, like the Ibir, they are the Somalian Hebrews. They wear the garments just like you would see in the Hebrew picture, and then they have the stripes on their garments and tallit, like fringes and that kind of thing. The same thing with the Limba and the Yoruba and the Bantu. You'll see them and they all dress very similarly because they're all part of the tribes of Israel.
And that's them, even though they have certain pieces of the truth, part of their downfall, part of their punishment is being sent that way. You know what I mean? Because it's like if I go to Chicago, you know what I mean? And I'm from here, I go to Chicago, I start doing Chicago stuff.
Yeah.
So that when I come back here, it seems foreign to me, and that's what happened to a lot of us. Like us going to Japan, us going to wherever. Mexico, slaves came across the Mexican borders. Those are Israelites anyways, the so-called Mexican people. But you have Judah, technically they're Issachar, they're the tribe of Issachar. You have Judah, you have Benjamin, which would be like somebody from the West Indies, Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaicans. And they had a very specific captivity as well. Each tribe had something specific happen to them that is shown in the scriptures. You know what I mean? Like in the scriptures, it speaks about Issachar being couched between two places. Speaking about America and South America. You know what I mean? And then you have Mexico. And Issachar means he is higher. You know what I mean? So Issachar's a hard worker. That's in his spirit. But what else is Issachar known for? Issachar's known for shooting, stabbing, robbing, just like our people. So you have good individuals within, the children of Israel, and then you have spirits that are just made for vengeance. They're just not going to get right till the Lord comes back, destroys this place specifically, and sets them in the land of Israel. That's where the kingdom of heaven is going to be established. Like it says in the scriptures, when John saw a city coming down, he wasn't seeing buildings like this or whatnot. He saw people the spirits that are currently up there right now, coming down here. That's why the Lord says he's going to come with healing in his wings. Because when the Lord comes back, the children of Israel will be perfect.
Have a new body.
Yeah, have a new body. So you're not going to be able to break an arm. or the same things that you're going through now. 'Cause, I mean, sometimes I know you probably wonder, like, yo, what the hell am I doing here right now? You know, like, what's the point? Because I can tell, like, you probably went to, like, college or something. Like, you seem very, like, educated. You know what I mean?
I went to college, but I don't think I was educated until I came under the Lord. Put it that way. But no, I definitely travel a lot, and I just try to understand what the Word says. And I don't know. I feel like He's actually changed the capacity of my mind to an extent. You know, because when He starts renewing you, He takes your focus off the things that don't matter, all the clothing and makeup and hair. You know, women, you focus so much on your hair, your nails, and your makeup and your eyelashes. It's literally drawing attention from Him renewing your mind and your body so that you can be right with Him in the spirit. And I see that even with Israelite women, you know, they bring the things of the world into the kingdom, and then they wonder why they can't get any relief or any freedom from the world. If you're in bondage to your vanity, then you're not going to be able to take in the things of the Most High, so He can teach you in the way that He wants to teach you, so He can make your path straight. So when I started to give up stuff, I gave up the music. He told me, stop listening to Beyonce, stop listening to all these rap artists, because what you listen to gets in your spirit, and that's who you become. And that's the problem with a lot of black people especially. And these record companies are owned by white European men who purposely are in there to keep black people especially in bondage to this world. And so if you stop listening to this music and you start listening to music that praises the Most High, or even just something that doesn't hit the wrong place in your body, something like that.
And of course, you know, certain music you want to stay away from. But let's say, I don't know, you got a little baby on the radio. Technically, you're not going off for that. You're not sinning. But once again, like you said, partially right. That can attach to you. Your spirit has to be strong enough to do certain things. You know what I mean? Like if I go to a restaurant, I don't have to worry about fighting nobody. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen to me. But somebody who may be a little bit rambunctious when they drink, they may not want that. Like I had to give up smoking. I used to smoke. I thought it made me like calm or whatever, but it puts a certain spirit on you. It does put a spirit on you to the point where you don't really see it. You can't see it unless you're not doing it. You know what I mean? First coming into this truth, I was smoking, right? And then I fasted, and I prayed on it, and I never smoked again. And that's just what happens. And I know that I wasn't able to stop that myself. It had to be the Lord. It's like it's the Lord revealing certain things, you know what I mean, to you. It's the Lord revealing certain things to, you know, even that guy right there, you know what I mean? The Lord puts a spirit on the wicked to do the wicked things, and the righteous to do the righteous things, you know what I mean? Now, here's what I will say. You said white Europeans. You go into the book of Job, it speaks about these Europeans. Let me get that. But biblically, right, so-called white people are known as the children of Edom. Now, once again, when you look at a white person, you can't, it's all by their spirit. You know what I mean? You have certain guys like Justin Bieber, that's an Israelite. Justin Timberlake's an Israelite.
I thought about Justin Bieber. I was like, because you got that one song he sung, it was like 5 years ago or so, but my friend was like, he's singing that song to God, but he can't come out of what he's in. Like, you can't do it. If you stay in that industry, you're not going to be able to come to God. I think the same thing about Kanye West. I think Kanye West is part of the tribe of Judah, but he refuses to detach himself from what they got going on there.
And they speak on it sometimes depending on the rapper. A lot of different athletes say, oh, I'm an Israelite. But they say it, and then they have to draw it back because they're contractually obligated. Now, me, once again, you can say whatever you want to, but it's going to come with consequences. I've lost a job. Sometimes you're going to lose your job. Sometimes you may lose your wife. Sometimes you may lose your kids. I don't have children, so that's a blessing on my end. But there's certain individuals that I know they had the kids taken away. The woman's like, no, I'm not hearing none of this. I'm taking the kids and I'm leaving. Yet what did they do? They are contractually obligated to the spirit to be a bride of the Lord. So they said, whatever happens. And I remember making this vow. I was like, yeah, whatever happens, Lord, and all of us, I say about 95% of us, whoever we were with when we started this, we're not with them no more. Because they just, in the world. They may even believe what you said, but after a certain amount of time, the Lord just bump them out. Boom. You out of here. And they're going to be all right. They're going to be in the kingdom. They're going to be cool or whatever the case is. But, yeah, and that's the thing, that all Israel is going to be saved. Let me get that. Let me get that first. Because that's very important too. Because a lot of people believe that, oh, well, if the Lord comes back and destroys it, we're done. You know what I mean? No, all the children of Israel are going to be saved.
I've seen that scripture, but I also read a scripture that says it's hard for the righteous to be saved.
Exactly. The percentage breakdown of the elect is because the Lord is a very good mathematician. At least the best mathematician ever exists. So yeah, I hate math too.
No, I say he made math.
Yeah,
I love math.
Yeah, I never liked math. Okay, so you have 100%. So you have 100% of the people that are here, whatever the case is. So it says in the scriptures that 2/3 of Israel shall perish and 1 part shall be saved. Exactly. So when you look at that numerically, you have 66.6% of Israelites here in America. Because remember, this place is Babylon the Great. This is the place that's meant to be destroyed. It's all throughout the scriptures. So when this place gets destroyed, 66.6% Israel is to be destroyed. 33.3% is meant to be saved. So the number 3 goes into confirmation. So the Lord is basically saying, we're going to confirm that these people are going to be saved, right? That 66.6% is basically a representation of just, you basically perishing like man. You perishing like somebody from the other nations. Because even in the kingdom, basically everybody outside of Esau is going to be relatively alright. They're going to be alright. They're going to have their land after a certain amount of time, after 1,000 years is over. They're going to have a certain amount of land. They're going to be okay. But as for right now, we have 33.3%, 66.6%, which leaves 0.1. And that 0.1% that's left is the 144,000. 12,000 out of each. 12,000 out of each tribe. These are men that they're here today, right now, and there's also some that are dead. Like Moses, when Moses died, he could come back as, we don't know. He could be teaching right now, or he could be an Israelite in the world, but the spirit is recycled. It's just our body was different. You know what I mean? So reincarnation is biblical. You know what I mean? It speaks about that in the scriptures, the regeneration.
Yeah, the rebirth.
Yeah.
I think that, the whole thing with Esau being the white man, I don't think that's all the way true. For the reason that you have Japheth, and take like the Ashkenazi Jews, which descend from Japheth, they're definitely white. But if you've ever read the book of, it's an extra biblical book. It's either the book of Gad or Enoch, when it talks about how Esau was saying that they have replaced Israel. So there's a lot of people in the church, in this like Roman Catholic church system, that say, even this guy down here, he was getting that like, oh, Israel had their covenant, now we have ours.
That's the damn devil.
Yeah.
That's the damn devil. See, what cuts
But that's what Esau said in that book. He said, we have replaced you guys, and God actually judged them. So I think Esau is actually part of the church system.
That's the damn. That's the devil. See, when you read the book of Enoch, there's a lot of holes in that story. Like, it speaks about how Enoch kills Nebuchadnezzar. I don't know if I personally haven't read too much of it, but Enoch and Nebuchadnezzar did not live in the same time frame. That's like me. That's like me having a fist fight with George Washington. The times don't match up. You know what I mean? So when you look into who made the book of Enoch, Esau. Once again, it's not, none of this is based off of skin color. That's what people are going to tell you. Oh, this is based off of skin color. You got guys who they'll wear all black. Now, once again, as I perceive, I'm the only person in this general vicinity that teaches the Bible. But you got guys all over the place.
Like, why are you the only one out here?
That's it. That's it. But hey, Lord may just have just you. Like I said, sometimes I go to places, I'll be with 2 brothers, 3 brothers, some brothers, there's 12. Like, who I learned from there in San Francisco, there's like maybe like 14 of them. You know what I mean? That's what I learned from. Each person learns from someone different, but you'll know who's in the spirit of it. If you got a guy saying, well, Jacob did this, so that's that accusatory spirit. You come in like he stole, which you can do things in righteousness. Like if I know this tree is filled with gold and this is your tree, and I say, hey, I'll take this tree off your hand for $10. You're like, okay, I give you the $10. I cut that tree open, and that tree got gold in it. That's mine now. Technically, it's a finesse. The word Jacob means a supplanter.
Yeah.
So he got finesse. That's really what it is. So they carry that hatred to this day. That's why he wants us to hate system. And here's how we know that this nigga's the devil. His face is on the money. His face is Jesus Christ. It is God. It's Paul, Peter, Matthew. When you think of a scientist, when you think of an American, you think of he's got his son right here. He's got his son right here. He's got his shotgun. He's got his Bible. And that gun, right? When you look at a gun, that's a modern day sword. So, and that was one of his blessings. That's why they like to go shooting, hunting, and some of them are Israelites. Like some of them are Israelites, they just don't know. You know what I mean? So it's all a toss-up. It's certain kids I went to high school with, they were Israelites. They didn't know him. You know what I mean? But you might be like, oh yeah, his dad's kind of cool. I mean, his grandpa's kind of cool. He can dance, he can sing. He likes to dress a certain way. People call him, white chocolate wigger. All that, it's his spirit. He can't help it.
Yeah. No, my mother had a couple baby mamas, and one of them I'm definitely like, that's an Israelite.
Yeah.
Right? But she had her child at 14, and she was taking care of this child, and she just was naturally, nurturing and naturally just loving towards people. And I said, she's white, but she's black.
Yeah. And that's beautiful. Her having to see the world is going to shame her for having kids at 14. That's beautiful. Some of the healthiest babies come from a woman that's 13, 14, 15. Like a lot of these NFL, NBA players. That's why you look on the sideline and their mom looks like us. And she had them at like 15, 16. So it's almost like soil that's fertile. Now, of course, a woman having a baby at 35, 40, or whatever the case. The farther along in age you get, the more complications there's going to be.
I mean, Sarah did fine just because God was like, this is going to happen type deal.
Yeah.
But the reason why I do agree with Esau is saying that they've replaced Israel. That's why I think Esau is a lot of the church system, the Roman church. He even called Esau Rome, like Edom.
Yeah.
But the reason why I don't necessarily disagree all the way with the book of Enoch is because God had me get rid of my makeup and my jewelry and that kind of thing. I did get this piece of copper bracelet today because copper helps with healing like your circulation and that kind of thing. But I was spending so much time focused on my appearance with the jewelry and makeup, and the book of Enoch talks about how fallen angels gave all those things. And there is a guy, his name is like I'm butchering the name, but he does testimonies, and he was saying like witches and warlocks, they can actually attack you through your fake hair and through your makeup and that kind of thing because you're denying the creation that God made you. Like you're already fearfully and wonderfully made.
You can wear certain jewelry and things like that, but once again, when you get too into it. Now in the book of Enoch, when it speaks about fallen angels, they're kind of going off on the deep end with that one because they're saying these are see, nobody resists the will of the Lord. So when you read, let me actually go to it. This is Jude 1 and 6. Well, actually, no. 1 and 5. It says, I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. So at one point we knew we were gone away. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. So we are the fallen angels. The Israelites are the fallen angels, and we're put in these chains, which are these bodies. Because remember, Adam and Eve were perfect. They're starting out perfect. Remember that Adam was made from the dust of the ground, and the Spirit of the Lord was breathed in him, like it speaks about in Ezekiel. So you already have people that were here on the earth. You know what I'm saying? And then the Lord created Adam and Eve and set them apart and made them holy, right? Holy means to be separate. So y'all are here. Y'all do what I've commanded you. But once again, it was always the Lord's plan to make them stray away. That's why you can't get too upset. I've done this, I've done that. You can't really let that affect you. Just don't do it no more. Like, let's say you used to be with women all through college. Just don't do it no more. That's all you gotta do. Repent. That means to turn back. Hey, I'm not gonna do that no more. Boom. Move forward. You know what I mean? It's all about, at the end of the day, it's all about faith and repentance. But for Israel, because of course the Lord knew that eventually Adam was supposed to have Faxad, and later on was supposed to have Isaac, and then Esau first, and then Jacob. That was all set up through the Spirit. The Lord understood that was going to happen. You know what I mean? So a lot of times you get confused with the names and the times, but we were set up to be here at a certain time frame. Like the children of Israel were set up to be here for a certain amount of time to now. That's how you know we're the children of Israel. It says that in the scriptures. It says that in, I believe, Job chapter, 9 and maybe 20. That the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right? He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, being us. Right? And if he isn't the wicked, where and who is he? So basically, and once again, this is the self-proclaimed white man. There's no such thing as a white man. It's all about the Spirit. Yeah, it's all about the Spirit. I know a guy, I've been friends with him since I was knee high. And when you look at him, you'd be like, oh, he looks like Esau, but he's Colombian. He looks a certain way. You know what I mean? So
this is good confirmation for me. I think angels do exist outside of humans.
Yeah, definitely.
But an angel also means a messenger, and so I definitely think we're also called to be messengers. The reason, because before I became a Christian, I was in a Buddhist retreat, and there was this girl there, and she was speaking to me, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but that's not a human speaking to me. So after I came to Christ, I realized that was an entity speaking through her to me. I know that angels, fallen angels, they teach man things. I know it.
And there's two different types of angels. You see, a demon technically is an angel too. Because once again, an angel means a messenger. So when you're at the house and you cutting up carrots, you may hear some in your head say, I wonder what would happen if I stab myself in the hand. I wonder what would happen if I drop this. That's a spirit.
Yeah.
So once again, you can't fall into certain shit. Because it happens with us, especially me being in this truth. You're gonna get tested probably more than anybody.
Yeah.
That's why you really have to stay on your P's and your Q's. Because if not, most likely you're gonna get wiped out. So I thank the Most High that I'm not wiped out. You know what I mean?
And that's how I actually came to God, was the house I was staying in, there was telepathic people, but I said, these are probably some kind of dark entities. This was before I became
a spirit house.
Yeah. And so they would go around and they would come up to me in the middle of the night and they would listen to what I was saying in my head, and then they would go back to the report type deal. And I said, all right, well, if they can read my mind, these Mormons had given me a Bible, so I just started reading the Bible in my mind, and one of the guys started going off, punching things and hitting things, and I was like, oh my God, this Bible is real. Like, this is legit. And that's why we have to be one with the Word of God, because if you're not one with God, if your DNA is starting to be programmed in some other way, then, and these demons are going to program your DNA, you're going to start to become one with them, and then they can have any kind of authority or dominion over you.
A lot of them Mormons, especially the young Mormons on bikes, those are Israelites, because they have a zeal for the Most High, but it's not according to knowledge.
Yeah.
So you'll notice that a lot of them, and I don't know if you notice this through the spirit, but a lot of them will be like redheaded. They'll have their hair cut all the way down. They have certain characteristics about them that makes them different. They're really committed to the cause. They just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, because they are under the wrong dominion.
Yeah, and once again, it's spirits, because you have people that think, I'm a cat, I'm a this, I'm a that. Those are specific low level demons, and as you conquering, you pushing away different demons, they get stronger. They get stronger to the point where you're like, oh my God, like.
Yeah, like you'll see it in the Asian communities, and because the Asian communities, they'll like try to portray these different animals or whatever the deal is. Like, what do they call them? Not the Harajuku girls, but whatever they call them. But I remember specifically always being called a cat, and I was like, what are these people talking about? Like, I'm not a cat. But the devil will try to get you to come into agreement with those kinds of things, and then you'll start acting in that nature, thinking it's normal.
Yeah.
And some Native Americans, they raise up those totem poles with all the different animals, and they're like, oh, I'm a wolf, or I'm a bear.
That's a certain spirit. See, that's what our people are subject to. But you notice that a lot of them have, just like the issues that happen in a black household, alcoholism, I hate to get over here, molestation. That's very prominent in so-called black household. It's not spoken about, but these are things that happen. Alcoholism, violence, the father not being there. Those are the same things that are happening. You go to Alaska, they get locked up, they drinking themselves to death. Those are the children of Israel. They wear the same things that we're taught to teach. Now, I'm not walking around with this at my job, but when I go out and I teach, it's commanded for you to have this on, a garment with a border of blue on it. But you see the Native Americans, they have the fringes, the way that they speak, that's they're basically speaking Hebrew, like a baby. When a baby's born, they're speaking in a certain way. They don't know what they're saying, you know what I mean? But everything is set up a certain way. Even the alphabet is set up. It's set up a certain way. Like when you say the word Christ, like that was something that was set up 2,000 years ago. They weren't speaking English. They were speaking Hebrew. So his name would be Yahweh Shai. He is salvation, or he the deliverer.
Yeah.
Yahweh Shai. His last name is Hamashiach, anointed. So his name is the anointed Savior. He is salvation, or he is the deliverer, right? That's why he said, if you see me, you see the Father. That's why the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, which means he is. So you see how the name of the Heavenly Father, the name of his Son are together. Yahweh Shai. You know what I mean? So when he was teaching on the earth, that's the names that he would use. Yahweh Shai, when the Lord was actually actively here 2,000 years ago. Because they'll say that too. Oh, well, he's an analogy of grace. He has no color. He has no. They'll say he has no gender. Certain pictures he's got green eyes. Certain pictures he got blue eyes. Certain pictures he don't have no hair on his face. Certain pictures he has a beard. It's all out confusion, you know? It's set up. When a man is supposed to have hair on his face. Prior to me coming into this truth, I would shave my face like once every like 3 days. 'Cause I thought that's how you're supposed to be in this
That's what they
society.
teach you in the church.
Yeah.
Yahweh even, because there are some Native Americans that actually call him that. They had the back stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had, I think it's a Union tribe, it might be the same as the Cherokee, I'm not sure, but yeah, no, their language looks just like Hebrew. But Yahweh, Yah meaning God, and Hawa meaning life, it's the same name as Hawa, means the mother of all life. The Most High is the God of all life. So it's all interconnected. It's just you gotta start doing your research.
And he said, not only did he set Adam up to fail, he said Eve. Really, when he set Eve up to fail, he set Adam up to fail. Like, okay, like, and do you have a husband or do you have? Okay, so if you're with somebody and an idea comes to you first, you gonna go up to him. I think we should do this. And he's gonna consider it. Oh well, I don't know. You're like, no, like I'm really adamant about this. He gonna be like, all right. After you so persistent about it, that's what she did. Like when it speaks in the scriptures about that a serpent came up, that was a man, right? He came like if you saw somebody come down here, he had on a Gucci jacket. You know what I mean? He just looked fresh as hell. And he's like, hey, I could boss your life up. You know, go back to your man, say you do it. You gonna do what you want to do. Forget him. He wants you to, be a wife. Do this. What? No. I can take you to places you've never seen. The same spirit that told Yahweh Shai, bow before me, I give you everything. That's the same spirit that came to her. That's the same spirit that everybody's following now. Give up what you know, and I'll give you whatever. You gotta sacrifice first. Everybody gotta sacrifice something. Like I had a job lined up, my college was paid for. You know what I mean? I was gonna go to a Christian college, and when I went to the interview, I didn't know about none of this. And I remember telling them, I was like, y'all aren't doing that. And that completely ruined my job. I was gonna get a job, and I was gonna get college paid for. They paid for my mama's house. You know what I mean? We used to live across the street from his church, and I used to help him when I was like in high school. I went to school with his kids. He had 10 kids. And I would help him, all that stuff. This is way before, I knew I was an Israelite or whatever the case is. And I seen him like 2 years ago and had a quick conversation with him, and he just dipped out. He's like, no.
But the thing is, we actually already own it all. And that's the thing, it's a trick. Like, I'll give you all these things, but the Messiah already knew that he had all those things and that the Father has saved it for him.
Exactly. That gold in Africa, that's ours.
Yeah.
They found like 300 trillion tons or something like that, pounds of gold.
Yeah.
That's a confirmation. The Lord is saying this. Now, of course, this damn devil, he's going to come and steal it. And he's going to use what? He's going to use jurisdiction. He's going to use his unrighteous decrees, like it speaks about in Isaiah. He's going to, that's where his power is. His power is in the tongue. His power is in legislation. You know what I mean? That's part of the sword. He was gifted the fatness of the earth and the sword. With that sword, see, a pen is like a mini sword. You know what I mean? A gun is like a sword. It's a weapon. You know what I mean? So he's used that to take over the whole world. He is taking over the whole world through contracts. Now he don't have to shoot nothing. We haven't gone to war or nothing because it's all through legislation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But there's a difference between what's lawful and what's legal.
Yeah.
So if you're under the law of God, not under it, because some people get that confused. So we're no longer under the law of God. When he says that, he means the penalty of the law. He doesn't mean the literal law. You still need to follow the laws of the Most High. If you are following his laws, then you can't be under the legal jurisdiction of the devil's philosophy. So it all belongs to you guys. You just have to take it back, but you have to follow the Most High in order to do that.
Exactly, and there's 600 plus laws. Now, of course, you're gonna break most of them. Inadvertently, you just go and you wake up and you like the Sabbath. The Sabbath is on the new moon and 7 days after the new moon for the whole month. So let's say that the new moon is on a Thursday. When the sun goes down on Wednesday, that's the end of the day. That's
I literally was just asking the Lord
Yeah.
about this. It's so funny.
and yeah, and that's the spirit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so you may go to the store, like where I work. I can go and I can buy something, and you might forget. Like you go, you buy something, and later on you sit down, you drinking something, you're like, damn, I wasn't supposed to. You're not supposed to have sex on the Sabbath. You're not supposed to.
That's me. I did that the other day.
You
I
know?
was like, oh, I just want something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't think it's actually a Sabbath today, because at first I was celebrating Passover, which we're supposed to be keeping the feast. I started doing it on a Monday, and then I started thinking about it. I was like, but why is there 30 days in this month, and the Sabbath will fall on every Sabbath day? So it's really 28 days in a month type deal.
Sometimes they come back to back. Like the new moon will come on Tuesday.
Okay.
Wednesday will happen, and then the new moon will happen on Thursday. So
Okay.
you gotta buy stuff in advance
Okay.
and kind of hold on to it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you know you can look up a new moon, lunar calendar, or whatever, and it'll show you. I actually have something for that. It says Amos. Amos 8:5, it says, saying, when will the new moon be gone that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit. So you're not supposed to buy, sell, you're not supposed to have sex on the Sabbath. What else? You're supposed to rest.
Yeah.
Read the Bible, and once again, it's okay. It's okay for you to read the Bible, but of course, once again, you have to, now if you don't have a husband, you read the Bible, but you should go to somebody who knows the Bible. If you can, a man of the Lord. If not, just watch the videos. Now, there's all types of different Israelites out here. They're all gonna say some different stuff. Certain people say, oh, you can do whatever. You have certain guys who say, oh, you can have anal sex with women. You're not supposed to do that. See, that's how you know that guy done. Don't listen to him. You'll know a man by his works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the Father will give us discernment, but I definitely think the man is supposed to be the lead and the head and that kind of thing. But that doesn't mean that the Father won't talk to or teach you, because even the Messiah came to the woman at the well type deal. And I was in New Zealand when I first met, God, and he was teaching me. Like, I was hearing his voice. I was walking around by myself just with my Bible. There was a homeless girl on the street. He was like, go give that girl some food. It was very simple.
And there's nothing wrong with being a homeless person. Now that girl at the well, right? You go into that. Let me actually go into that.
She was a Samaritan. Because everything I've learned has been from the Most High. I'll watch the video here and there, but you just crack open your Bible and you start asking him. He said, ask and ye shall receive, and I will teach you, a lot of things. But I do think the man is a stronger counterpart. Even men that are in the secular world, they seem to learn quicker than what women do. Women often get entangled into things, and it's hard for them to come out of it. And that's why women need a head.
Yeah, and even us, we get taught. That's why it says in the book of Isaiah that that your eyes shall see your teachers. Because you have a lot of guys saying, "Oh, you should do this, you should do that." Well, I'm learning from. They still come out. They still come out. They still teach for years. You know what I mean? They're in their 50s, their 60s. Some of them in their late 60s, and they still come out and they teach. That's who you're supposed to listen to, not just these random ass people. It's certain videos that you're supposed to watch, because the we're going into the scriptures. Like I said, I can't just speak from my own mind. It says in the scriptures that the heart is deceitfully wicked above all things. So I may think that something's okay, and I check the scriptures, and it's not okay. You know what I mean? So it's really all about what this is. That's why it's so hard to follow, and that's why a lot of people think there's a stumbling block in here for everybody. There is a stumbling block in here for absolutely everybody. Like, for example, if you get with a woman, let's say you get with a woman and you lay with a woman. By definition, that's your wife. So if she goes and she gets with another man, you're not to deal with her no more. You know what I mean? She's now, boom, she's cast out. Now, a guy may hear that and be like, well, what if a year passes by and now you have that union, and if that's broken, over with it. Some guys don't, I believe in my heart, boom, you out the truth. It's everything is specific. If you're not following exactly what the Lord says, you're out of here. And that's what we've been told. If you don't follow this, the Lord is going to plague your mind, and eventually you're going to be subject to your own thoughts, and you're going to be out here. You're going to be destroyed. Now you're going to have tattoos all down your arms. You get tattoos. You smoke weed. You sleeping with, this man's wife, this man's, and the Lord put the spirit on you to sleep with a man. He can do that. He can give you over to anything that he wants because it's the Lord. It says in the scripture, I create good and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So if he wants to, he can just have you plagued in the mind. Like a lot of these homeless people, they just have spiritual. That's it. And then, it's a spirit of uncleanness. Like depression, I don't want to take a shower today. That's a demon. There's a specific demon, and women have that demon after a while. They get with like 20, 30 dudes. And now they don't. The other side of their nails is dirty. They're not taking a bath. They walk around here looking stank. But men are still gonna sleep. You know what I mean? So it's gonna build you up. It's gonna boost you up. And that's why they call this place the Great War. Because no matter what happens here, it's like a woman that's been ran through and all this other stuff. She's like, so? Like, if you call out a hoe, are you a hoe? Oh, so what? Who are you, nigga? That's how the world is. Specifically this place.
Oh, yeah, because last night, oh, Lord, I just didn't care. Like, Coyote Mart, was it Coyote Ugly?
Coyote Ugly?
Mm-hmm.
I said, hell, somebody
over
shot.
there. And literally, this woman came up. I'm talking to some dude. This woman came up. And she just was staring at him like she would have definitely just slept with the guy right there. And I was like, this is weird. I think I'm really rude. It was just peculiar. I guess I never thought that women would be so open just to hook up with people. Because it wasn't like that 10 years ago, when I was in college. Like, they would at least think about it type deal, but it wasn't that. It was like, I don't care. I'm just doing whatever I want to do.
Yeah, it's almost like a beast.
Yeah.
Like a beast don't have no recollection of nothing. They just go ahead. Like you have to consider that. Like it's all the time. You go somewhere to be girls, they like you, they want to talk to you, but you're like hell no. I'm pretty sure certain guys you're like hell no. You may have a nice smile or whatever. This nigga is scamming. I can't. What can I do with that? You know what I mean?
You gotta discern by the spirit.
Exactly.
If you want something, because you looks like you're swatting away mosquitoes, probably lavender.
Thank you.
Alright, I gotta run. I just wanted to see what you were talking about.
Definitely. Well, hey, you never know. Might see me down here, over here, there.
Yeah.
Pensacola, who knows?
Yeah, I'm leaving here soon. First off, I think the father is going to rock Florida. I would actually leave Florida.
He's going to rock this whole damn place.
Yeah, so I would probably get off anywhere that has a coast, to be honest. And so I'm heading that way in like 5 days. I might see you. You have a Facebook?
No, I don't have any social media. It's a number that's there.
Yeah.
speaking on, once again, now, if the cop comes past, they cool with me because they know, okay, he not physically doing nothing. But we speaking on this place being destroyed. We're speaking on like that's not a light threat. So it's gonna get to the point where it's gonna be physical. That's why I can only be out here, there, I can only be out here for so long. It just is what it is. It's gonna get to the point before you go. Very soon, this economy is going to crash, and they're going to implement something called the mark of the, I don't want to say because my company, the mark of the EEAST. Before you leave, go ahead and get that. I know you got to go. That's probably the most important thing that I can tell you is to pray in the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And also to understand what this is. Alright, so Revelation 13 and let's start at 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as do not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So it's going to get to the point where the UN, EU, NATO, they're going to exact a one world system, and that's going to come from this economy crashing. They're going to say, okay, we got to get everything together. We have to get one currency, one political stage, one everything. Everything has to be one, right? It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So have you ever heard of the RFID microchip?
I've heard of it. I think it's a sign for the beast, the mark of the beast. I think the mark is actually spiritual. The Father gave me a dream of the golden image and how people worship that. And it exists. It's America in general, you know. We got to go out and get our hair, and I got to get the new shoes, and this food was awesome. Forget everything else. You know, people worship food. They worship their image. I mean, just look at Instagram. That'll show you what the golden image is. And then, some military guy, he was all like, somebody was calling themselves a they, like they're trying to deny sexes. Oh, I'm not a he or a she, I'm a they. This military guy's out here talking about, oh yeah, God blesses me, but there's nothing wrong with that person calling themselves a they. I'm like, no, bro.
It's confusion. This is the new road. Well, this will prove that this is the chip. It says, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and 6. So a score is 20. So numerically that would be 666. So you know a UPC code?
Yeah.
That UPC code on the chip, that's what's going to be used as a transaction. You know when you go, you put your phone in front of that scanner, they're setting that up with the chip, radio frequency identification, which when I was in school, that was something that I studied a lot. I studied aerospace technology. And one of the things with a satellite is, when you have a certain satellite and you have a chip, you can throw it in that sewer right there, and it can follow to 2 inches of coordinates. You know what I mean? So this chip, that's why they tell you to be six feet away. They're gonna create that like different Starlink and these other things. They're gonna create a system where they're going to know your blood pressure, they're going to know your heart rate, they're going to know everything by way of this chip. And that chip is going to be put, now it can be put in your left hand, right hand. There are people that are getting it right now.